What's up, Internet? This is Bernie Burns.
Versus me.
Versus Kerry.
Who is Kerry? Dragon face.
Kerry, look how far we've come.
Our names are up there so many times.
Not together. We came down separate paths.
Yes.
But now we're here in the finals.
The road to one of us victory.
We are 1 week away from the Achievement Hunter guys having to play a horse again.
Yeah, seriously. I know Jack's really happy about that.
All right, so this is round one.
I contest. I contest.
Jack was explaining the rules to us, and I set the tone earlier by just immediately jumping in my ghost.
The controller was still in Jack's hand as you propelled yourself toward me, and then I immediately died.
Entire round in real time.
Yep, that was. I contest.
Nah, you're fine.
No.
So I have age.
Contest.
There was some concern. I think that Jack had the controller in his hands.
If by concern we mean fact.
But I still think you had ample time to get it. All right, for this next round, we had to knock a Warthog off this platform here by sniping it from a distance.
Yes, you'd go up this gravity lift, you'd zoom in, you'd try and snipe it, and it wouldn't work, and then you would go through the teleporter sometimes.
Theoretically,
you would go through the teleporter, and then it would. It's kind of. There's been a lot of those lately. I don't know if Jack did that intentionally or not, but there's been a lot of vehicles flying towards your face.
And you're supposed to kill yourself with a vehicle in motion. Yeah, so we would snipe it from the platform. It would then fall down theoretically into this area, and we would get killed by our own Warthog or whomever's Warthog.
Yes.
Here's a good attempt. Neither one of us really tried that hard for that.
No, we knew.
But the problem was I kept going up, and you can actually see me going to my teleporter there, but there was a couple times.
That was one of the 3 times that you actually went through the teleporter.
Didn't go through my teleporter. So Kerry wins here, and you can't see me, but in the distance, I'm also get mine sniped, but then I can't get through the teleporter.
Yeah, I think
that's mine coming down right there.
Yeah.
So also protests. I'm just.
I don't know about that.
We have even protests. Faulty map.
I had time. You had time. There's no protest.
I see. Protest denied. Judge Kerry. This is probably the greatest round I have ever seen. What we had to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so we had to fly across that big chasm thing, whatever it is. Second you landed, you got a checkpoint. You just had to survive in your Warthog, and then you could spawn every time, whatever. Then you had to drive across this split rail while a shredder was coming down on you, which was awesome.
2 horrible things at once. Driving a Warthog on a split rail, and you're going through a shredder at the same time. And it's like, oh, look how hard this is. It's also difficult. This is the hardest thing I've ever seen. Until Kerry shows up. Is this the one?
I think this is yours right before mine.
Kerry makes the best run in the history of horse here.
It's gonna be up. Okay, is this it? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. That was definitely not it.
Kerry's like, you know what? I'm gonna try this a couple times. I'm gonna do it standard way. I'm gonna fall in. Then he's like, fuck it. I'm gonna 2-wheel this thing all the way across. How did you do that?
That might be the proudest moment of my entire life. I'm gonna be honest.
That was pretty incredible. In fact, I was so happy that I was sitting there and I got to watch you do that.
I was just like, fuck it, whatever.
Cheering for you. Look at this. What is that? Oh my god.
Jack, can you screenshot this a whole lot and just send them to me?
I was starting to sweat it at this point because I took an early protested lead, and then Kerry comes up with that crazy show-off win.
It was so fucking awesome.
All right, now this one sucked because this one we had to jump in the kill ball, and then we had to land on this platform and have a dead body stop on one of those protrusions.
And hopefully it would stop before we respawned and the camera went away from it so that we couldn't see if we died or not.
You know, Kerry, at this point, you and I were not friends, and we were so anxious to win that we actually played this on separate boxes so that we could both be host.
Yes.
We were not going to take any chances.
No, we've had too many contested things.
There was too much protest.
Yeah.
The judges were getting overworked.
Yes.
And in fact, I actually was confused at first because I landed on the middle spine, and then I was told you couldn't do that.
Yeah, you immediately jumped down, landed on the middle spine, and you're like, nope, got it.
I got it.
I was like, wait a minute, no.
But that's why you can see we're doing it separately. Oh, God, it always gets so damn close.
Yeah.
But you won't see us doing it at the same time because we're both playing on separate boxes.
Yeah, I kept getting confused because I thought that there were 2 of them because sometimes the longer side would be on the left and sometimes it would be on the right. And then I realized I was just dumb and there's just 2 spawn points. And
look at that. That's a bank shot to win.
Yeah.
That's me.
There's no
Tied it
protest
up.
there.
No protesting.
No.
The hard part about that one, too, was like the bodies would disappear so fast.
Best name ever, SeanDonnery. Just throwing that out there.
So this was just a standard kind of Mongoose race that we had to do with some jumps in the middle, and I'm really terrible at these.
There's some checkpoints. I don't remember exactly.
Nice.
Was I red or blue?
That's all skill right there. I think you're red here.
Okay, well, now I'm embarrassed.
I can't really tell because somebody's dying, and usually that's me. That's definitely me. Yeah, I'm blue.
All right. We've confirmed.
It takes all skill to bounce off of a force field into a rock.
Oh.
Yep. You had already passed this point a couple different times.
Yeah.
And I never got past that first
Jack said it was
point.
gonna be so easy to do that part of it, and then I immediately I made it through. I was like, yeah, and then I hit the wall and bounced in.
Here I am back at the goddamn force field, still trying to make that one.
Yeah, I think I was at checkpoint 2 at this point. Yeah. And then I wasn't sure if I got this the first time, so I just kept throwing grenades at it.
God, I wish you'd killed yourself here. All right.
That would have been awesome.
So Kerry wins that round.
Yes.
In case you missed it the first time, there's a grenade.
Boom.
So now it's
HOR, HO. This was an awesome one. Holy crap, this was an awesome one. So
yeah, this one was fun.
Yeah, so we got into the Wraiths, and it puts these platforms across the other side, across from each other, and we had to just kill each other.
You had to aim so high too to try to hit the other person.
Yeah, you had to aim so high that you would aim up, you would fire, and then you would want to look back down to see if it hit. But then you would lose your aim spot if it was a good one, because you actually had to look down to see your opponent again.
Yeah. By the way, Kerry, this is basically all video games were when I was a kid. Was just two things going back and forth, left and right,
just tank,
shooting at each other. I thought it was going to take forever, but there was actually strategy to this.
Yeah, there was. I was so worried I was going to fly off the front. I'm terrible when it comes to vehicles, especially of the Covenant.
I would try to like pin you back into the corner and then make it so that's me right there. I took one of the first hits early. I was smoking pretty early on. Bam! Oh. That was a nice hit. Very proud of that, Kerry.
Yeah, I felt it. Down my bones, my Spartan bones. Everybody's laughing in this room.
At this point, and there's Kerry
and there's me
popping
falling
out of his tank. Poor baby. I know. It's rough. It's a rough.
So what do we have, 3-3?
So now we're tied. HOR, HOR.
This is when it gets fun. This is when it gets really fun. So this one you had to go through the gravity lift, but then you had to jump out before you did, and then you had to go through the teleporter and again get hit in the face with your own vehicle.
Yeah, this is a common theme now in horse games to get
these
hit
are
by
great.
your own vehicle.
I hope you can sense the sarcasm.
So we're just trying to catch it.
Oh.
And both of us caught it pretty early.
Yeah.
But didn't die. It was
in fact, that one.
Out.
Yeah, I just got sent fucking flying. Yeah.
And that did not count. You had to be killed by the vehicle.
Yeah.
Not by physics.
Which, I'll go ahead and protest.
Here's how I got it though, Kerry. I finally solved the problem. Is instead of waiting for it, I jumped into it.
Oh, that's good. Then you can't get bounced.
Then you don't get lost.
Yeah.
So that's how I got it. Oh,
now you're in the lead.
I can one round away.
I can feel it more so because we're in the future.
One round away at this point from winning the whole thing.
I can see it. He's pointing at the screen, and he's just letting me know that he's one round away. This was actually pretty awesome. You had to jump down, and you had to stop your own momentum somehow and go down these series of ramps and land on the island alive. Key factor is alive.
The hardest part about this was getting into the first ramp and not dying right here.
What was your strategy?
Not die. I mean, I would try to lip out of like the edge. I try to go along the edge of it as opposed to like right down the center, and then of course lipped out and go flying away. I was so mad. I'm shooting at the course.
Yeah.
Always blame the course. Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, I did that so many times. I would just not hit the teleporter at all, or the grav lifter.
That looked like a level out of Mirror's Edge. So that was the first time I almost got to the island.
Just hit the cliff face.
So the object is we have to land on that island and survive.
Yes.
That was it.
There's a very, very key part. Yup. Wow, that was a good one. You almost made it to the island just from the first one.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
I always took my anger out on the course. I'm not sure why. I was always shooting at it.
There I go. Doing the same thing.
So this is like a double ski jump thing.
Yeah.
In honor of the Olympics.
I definitely found that the easiest.
Kerry making it to the island and dying.
And my face.
You hadn't hit that rock.
Yeah. And the ground. And everything that hit.
And here I'm hurt. Coming in for a landing. Almost gets over.
There's no way. There's no way.
Land it.
He makes it. God damn
That's it. Kerry,
that was it.
You are a worthy opponent.
Shaking hands.
But not nearly as worthy as I was. Gavin, do you want a heckle from Gavin?
Gavin is clearly the worst of all of us.
Burnie is a champion.
Yeah, second place twice.
I never get tired of reading that in any form. Put my name in there. Yes.
There it is. Fade in.
How come I got a fucking silver trophy? What the fuck? Why did I get a gold trophy? That's bullshit, dude. I played this game for 8 goddamn weeks to get a fucking silver trophy. Fucking A, Achievement Hunter. Why don't you splurge a little bit?